Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Twin Flames Portal Ascensions channel. Sorry, my throat is really bad, but I'm recording this message with a great difficulty, and unknowingly, I've been getting this download since morning today, and I think it's super important, so that's why I'm recording it and then putting it across. And I was just thinking why I was getting this download, and then I realized that today is leap year, and the message is this. Okay, so probably from the year 1998, okay, so somewhere in between the mid 1998, 1999, starting from that time frame, especially 2000 millennium, okay, so take the millennium as the count and just before 1 year, okay, so either 1999, the mid half, definitely 1998 and 1999 and 2000, okay. So the earth went into a certain trajectory in which it was not supposed to go, okay. So that's a message, okay. So it has to go in particular path, a straight path, or in a specific orbit, but the earth has actually taken a different wrong trajectory, and then it went through that trajectory for almost literally 27 years, 25, 26, 27 years, which it's not supposed to go, okay. So we don't know the reasons why it happened, but this is the serious message and download that I have been getting. So since it has taken a wrong trajectory, a proper trajectory in a wrong orbit, so the entire things, there are mishappenings that have been happening on earth since that time, okay. So for example, so this I'm hearing not in terms of like money or anything or financial things. Yes, financial things did happen, but it's more sticking to for example, like life, love, droughts, tsunamis, hurricanes and all that, okay. So if you count in, so since 2000, so we had been getting different kind of disasters, natural disasters on the earth that it has never ever seen. So one disaster stops and there will be a disaster in some other part of the earth, whether it could be like earthquake or anything. So it's because the earth has taken a wrong trajectory in which it was not supposed to go, and that trajectory actually has changed either today, that's the main message I've been getting, okay. So it's this particular day or this particular year, the earth, okay, has gone back to the right trajectory. So whether you take a Chinese calendar or Indian calendar or the Western calendar or anything, so one thing is common at this particular point of time. So there is equinox, the March equinox is also coming up. There is this is the year start time in the in the Chinese New Year has started, I think 2 weeks ago or something, somewhere in January, and also you have many Indian New Years that are going to come up in the next couple of weeks or a month. So we are in this particular time frame. So astrologically speaking, so there is some quantum shift of the earth, okay. I think things are falling into the track. So the main issues I have been hearing as part of the download were, so there could be like wrong mismatchings and wrong wirings, okay, when it comes to terms of relationships, or love and everything that has been they were unwanted. For example, if you're tying a lace, okay, you wanted to tie a shoelace, okay, but what things would have happened at the time of 1998 and 1999 and 2000, 2001 time were, instead of tying the shoelace for each shoe on your each feet, there could be chances that you have tied in a crisscross manner, tying both your legs. Okay, so that is one scenario. Sometimes you might have actually, especially in terms of relationships, unknowingly or knowingly, it was because of the astrology. Indian astrology definitely believes in Rahu and Ketu and like so many things. Okay, so there are certain planetary shifts which have actually totally erased the word called love and life and happiness from the earth perspective when it took the wrong trajectory. Okay, somehow most of the people, they might have lost their loved ones, so they could be like family breakages, they could be like so many things that could have been happening because of the, for example, if somebody loved somebody and they end up marrying someone else, and their entire life would have crashed. And this went in an annoying way. That's not one situation here. There could be like multiple millions of couples, loved couple on this earth at that point of time, which marriages such wouldn't were not supposed to match, but that was a wrong match because they were under the influence of the Rahu and the Ketu. So this mismatches happened, and since the collective energy has brought the earth into a wrong trajectory. Okay, so that is what I have been hearing. So anyways, everything is in the hands of the Almighty, of the seven heavens and the earth. But the thing is, most of the times God punishes us if the entire collective are not in a right form. Okay, for example, until the age of 1998, for example, even if you take the movies and everything, the first emphasis for over the 2 to 3 centuries was towards love, happiness, life. Though there were so many fights for freedom and bondage, but from 2000 we have more emphasis on on technology, keeping ourselves busy. Happiness does not come into our life, so we just think that if we are eating full food and like junk food, that's happiness, that's more than enough. No, so people are not bothered about love and life and harmonious relationship and everything. So I think because of the the phones and the computers and the laptops and different kinds of technology, so because this all came into picture, because the earth has went into a wrong trajectory. Okay, so the earth has seen things which we are not supposed to see. Okay, we went to a living hell kind of situations, many families. So I'm not talking about financial things, but there are so many mishappenings that have happened since 2000. Okay, since 1998, since the start of 1998, 1999, and 2000. I would say mid 1998. Okay, mid 1998. Probably I think somewhere around the May, May to June, July, those August time frames of 1998. There was certain trajectory that the Earth has went into, which it was not supposed to be. Especially in the year 1999 was so crucial. 1999, 2000, and if you guys remember, they were thinking, like many people were saying at the time of millennium, so there was a Y2K thing, and many people were afraid that the earth will be there'll be no earth anymore. But people were really fearing. Okay, there was a big propaganda that the earth will be not anymore, but actually nothing did not happen in 2000 year. So we were all waiting, we were literally young teenagers, very young. Okay, so we were literally waiting, will we be able to see the the 2000 year at all? Will we be all alive? Okay, so nothing has happened, but since the beginning of 2001, 2000, the world had seen so many things, that the natural disasters, hurricanes, tsunamis, there's so many things which the world has seen, earthquakes, and the overall credibility or the overall genuinity of humans, okay, of people in with respect to love, life, has tarnished very badly. So people don't give, they don't think about love anymore. Some people, they would have like, literally it is like a total change or a shift. Probably they were under the influence of the astrological planetary positions, like of that were influenced by the Rahu and the Ketu. Okay, so I don't know what to, it could be like, we don't know what would have happened, but there were certain common things at that time, and if you compare to this particular time, okay. So even since 96, 97, so that time frame, 95, 95, 96, 97, 94, so there were so many eclipses that were happening. Just like if you take the last 4 years, starting from the time of the COVID pandemic and everything, there were so many eclipses. There were years, in the last 2 years, there were multiple 2 eclipses in 1 month, and also in consecutively there were like literally 6 eclipses in 1 year. So this is not natural. Okay, so it's not a good thing. We are not in a good situation, astrologically speaking. That too many eclipses are not really good sign. Okay, and but eventually people have realized, because of the post pandemic and during the pandemic, there was like, literally a change in people's mentality towards a good objective. Okay, so people started realizing what is really important in life. And I think people started questioning, like, into long distance relationships, is it worth, or like, should we be to, should we come closer so that we'll have a better life? Is money all important, or it's, even if you have money, do you really have love and affection in life? So if you don't have love and affection in life, so even if you have like lots and lots of money, like, you could be a luxury, millionaire, but if you don't have the heart, or if you don't have anyone to look after you, so it's a question mark. Okay, so people started getting these questions. Okay, especially and also when this Valentine's Day for this particular year has happened, I've seen many young guys, who are in their, mid 20s, in their early 30s, or like, for example, if they're in the ages of like 25, 26, 27, 28, who are guys who are in an age to get married and all that years. So they are literally worried. They don't think that love doesn't exist. Okay, so because these are mostly the people who are born during this times of like the millennium, just 2-3 years people. So because the earth has gone into a different transit, okay, different orbit and the trajectory, so their entire mentality is like, there's nothing called love, it's all just, so it's just like, the earth is very bad and there is nothing called love. Okay, so they are in a very painful situation and they don't even know what true love is. Okay, it's because we are all in this kind of it was actually a, we were blinded out to see love because of, like, for example, it was like a chain reaction. Once this earth went into a wrong trajectory, this chain reaction has happened. Especially the masculine energy did not really stopped believing in, like, something called love completely, due to the certain factors, due to, like, for example, there something drastic would have happened. Some collectives, okay, some collectives and some divine masculines are very strong. Okay, so one thing happens and then the next thing, it will have a domino effect. Okay, so something like that would have happened. We don't know what it was. Okay, where it happened, but how it has taken a effect on the word called love. Okay, so people who loved until even if you see, if you like really go back and see and like get the feeling of those years where you really go yourself back into like, you know, the until the 1997 time frame, you had something called peace, love, life. Okay, so since then, since the time of 99, 2000, everything, every family, many families in the world, or like, you know, they had like unknown life crashes. Okay, and they had like, you know, unknown family issues. For example, there was no peace on the earth, so there was no peace in the personal life. Or even if you have lots of money and everything, I'm not talking with the financial matter, so it sums up to the peace, happiness, and like, you know, that feeling of like, you know, happiness. But since the time of 98, 99, 2000, since that time, the world has been sinking. Many people keep saying the world is not changing, it is going to a bad direction, it is never turning back to a good direction. Okay, so people kept on saying, so you see, year by year things were going worse. Okay, and I think this worst thing, in many matters, it went worse. Okay, so people don't even like, you know, they don't even want to love anybody, or they don't even think about like, you know, there is really love between a man and woman, due to the so many circumstances in the commercial aspects in the real life. Okay, so what I'm really hearing is, I got this some kind of strange, you know, depiction. Exactly, it was like an imagery in front of my eyes, like, you know, the earth, you know, it was, you everybody would have seen the movie Titanic. Okay, where the ship sinks. Okay, and only if the Titanic would not have hit the iceberg, and if you would have, you know, the captain and the crew of the ship would have steered into a different direction, it wouldn't have hit the iceberg, and it wouldn't have sunk, right? Okay, and at the time of 99, 98, 99, 2000, it could have happened somewhere like, you know, that, you know, the earth has you know, there was some kind of iceberg kind of thing in the celestial space, which the earth would have hit, or like, you know, it, you know, and the earth started sinking. Okay, for example, the love, the life, the overall happiness on this planet earth, and like, for example, the trees and everything, you know, they started the entire thing, the overall earthly feeling. Okay, that started sinking. So because it was Titanic, it just took like, you know, a few hours to sink. Okay, because this is earth, so like, you know, we are degrading day by day since 2000. Okay, so it's going on deep. Only I think at this particular trajectory, you like, you know, today the earth would have moved into a different trajectory. So that steering, what would have happened. First point was, the earth wouldn't, like, you know, just the Titanic shouldn't have hit the iceberg. Okay, so similarly, the earth shouldn't have hit the iceberg, but it is now, you know, that steering, you know, we are steering the earth into the right orbit, which went into the wrong orbit from the time of 99, 2000. Okay, so the humans, wrong wiring, the relationships, the unknown relationships where nobody is happy about. So okay, so it's through the constellation, it's through the Almighty, the wiring will be set back all again. Okay, so we'll be in the right manner. So luckily, think this way, the earth did not hit the iceberg, so at least it went to a wrong trajectory. So because it went to a wrong, we started sinking into a deeper, lower level. Okay, so in on this earth, you have different times, different, for example, you have higher planes. Okay, so if you know the spiritual dream and the spatial sense, you have the planes. Okay, for example, at that moment the earth would have fallen into the lower planes. Okay, so lower planes are things where, if more like, even in the history or the spiritual paths, they say that people who are more sinful, they fall into a lower plane. Okay, so God will put all of them into a lower plane, so your planes will go to a higher plane if you are less sinful. Okay, so we would have gone to a higher, so at that moment probably the earth would have sunken to a a lower plane. Okay, so that's when we started seeing so many issues. Okay, and now I think this is the, this is the day, this is the particular point of year, so we are coming back to a higher plane. Okay, so I don't know if you are going to a higher plane, which was going till the time of 98 99, before the 98 99 time, or much higher, like much better, much better. So this is not in terms of money and everything, in terms of the love, happiness in the relationship, full satisfactory relationship, satisfaction in any kind of harm, your well-being, your like your family, your overall, like, are you able to sleep happily, peacefully, and like, all that kind of categories. And one more common thing I would like to tell you is, just before this 90, at this time of 98 99 2000 time, was the time where the entire world was busy, sending their rockets. Okay, to the space, for example, because they wanted to launch these satellites. Okay, so this was the space when, this was the time when, they until then only very few satellites were there, but it was this specific time, 98 99 and 2000, where almost every country, not every country, every developed country was sending the rockets, rockets and satellites to the, to the outer space in a very much in a multiple number. Okay, very frequently. And if you see the last 2-3 years of this particular 2024, if you see the last 20 22 23 24, so we have multiple missions towards the space. But for example, when it comes to Mars or like to the moon, so there were so many space missions. Okay, so some things are really common, but one thing I would really say is, probably I don't really like, astral, I didn't even see the facts yet, because this was just a downloaded message. I did not even have the time, so I'm just relaying to you as the thing what it was like literally. I could see this vision in front, vision in front of me, like, vision, since the morning. So I wanted to tell you, so we are moving to getting back to the right trajectory, especially the wirings of the relationships. Okay, so people would have gone into wrong wiring, they wouldn't have been happy, even if they have, like, children and everything. So they really want to, probably they would have married because of their parents' force, or like, certain dependencies. For example, they would have seen that the other person is wealthy, so I will just leave my love and marry that particular specific person. So all, unwanted, unknowing, they would have taken decisions with innocence, like, not with proper maturity or anything, like whatever could have. Since that time, their entire life would have crashed. Okay, they might have money and everything, but their overall happiness, they have sacrificed. They have sacrificed their overall freedom. Okay, their complete freedom, so they don't hardly smile or anything. So when it comes to, like, for example, even and so that's one case. So another case would be like, some people would have, like, especially would have, like, some people would have lost their fathers, or like, separations between the families, and everything would have happened. So it's not the so it was the because of the astronomical issues. Okay, so we have to look back into the astrology, the Indian astrology or Chinese astrology, what would have, like, happened at that particular moment. Okay, so So now we are in a better place. So starting from this today, a leap year, 29 February, so we will definitely be on a better space. And also we have to recognize the importance of love, life, and happiness and harmony between our relationships, not just wasting our time on technology or unwanted AI or unwanted networking, unwanted technology which you don't really need. Okay, so the emphasis is on life, okay, on happiness, on growing trees, and let love survive. Okay, so if you embody love, so automatically you get back love. Okay, so people started understanding the importance of love. For example, there were so many people, so in the last 2 to 3 years, or like couple of 5 to 6 years, people would have lost like some kind of things would have happened drastically, or like some changes. This was just a trigger to certain things would have could it's just to make you better, nothing more than that's what I'm hearing. So like for example, it was just a tweaking done by to God to us. Okay, so everybody, we had some or the other kind of issue in the last 5 to 6 to 7 years. Okay, whether it could be like any kind of stuff. Okay, so just be positive, don't be in depressed state, so be motivated. So the time which is going to come from today to 2024, it's going to be a beautiful energy, and you're going to reflect only positivity, happiness, love, and life. So if you are reflecting that into the world and the space, obviously whatever you are retaining back will be love, happiness, satisfaction, purity in your life. Okay, so that's the main deal from today. And all the best and congratulations that we have moved out of the older paths and the older pattern that we have been suffering from the past 25, 26 to 27 years, and then we are in a good new happy trajectory on which the earth is going now. Okay, so yes, thank you so much.